Yo, this is Deontay the Bronx Bummer Wild, the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. And I'd like to give a big shout out to CJ Goodfella, Sports TV. Bomb Squad, baby.
Don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Health Blaze, at thehealthblaze.com. 100% all natural products from lotions, soaps, foot soaks, bath bombs, and much, much more. Use the promo code Goodfella1Boxing. Tell them your boy CJ Goodfella sent you, get 18% off. We out. All right, man, we back. Goodfella Sports TV. Bless y'all with some good boxing content. The amount of boxing content I'm dropping today, I definitely won't go live unless it's like some like big news. But we're gonna talk about the viewership of David Benavidez and Alexis Ramiro, Alexis Angulo. Dwyer said his name perfectly. I don't know why I ain't saying it good, but shout out to Dwyer. He do some solid work. But let's talk about Canelo. And we talk about the viewership later. So I said this yesterday on the live, but everybody don't catch the live. So I'm going to go ahead and chop this video up real quick. Once Canelo beats Ivan Yildrim, he will be the franchise champion again. David Benavidez said today in Boxing Scene that he will try to make the weight. I heard he was moving up, so I guess he's going to attempt to try to make 68 once again. And if he does make 68 once again, he will be WBC champion again because they will have him fight for the regular title, the one that Devin Haney has, the one that Jamal Charlo has. So I think he'd be the first regular WBC champion in their history, right? So, yeah, Canelo will be upgraded. Canelo did petition to fight Ivan Yildrim. A lot of guys petitioned to fight Ivan Yildrim, Jamal Charlo, Callum Smith. They even thought about doing Callum Smith and Canelo Alvarez, like I said in my video yesterday. But Ivan Yildrim team basically wanted their title shot. In WBC, they want to look crooked and railroad Yildrim. So, Canelo will be franchise champion again, and then that belt can go to David Benavidez. It can go to Jamal Charlo. Maybe Jamal Charlo, Benavidez fight for that belt. Maybe Benavidez, Callum Smith fight for the belt. But I find it funny that Callum Smith been a diamond champion, and WBC diamond champion. He's been a mandatory for a while, and he hasn't even talked about fighting David Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? So all of a sudden, Yildrim get the belt. Everybody talking about Canelo. We know what Canelo about. Canelo got enough clout to do what they want to do, and the franchise champion is the reason he was able to get that opportunity. So he became the instant mandatory. It was 36-1 vote. But nobody talking about how Callum Smith, who's absolutely done nothing in the division but beat a one-arm George Groves, didn't want to fight David Benavidez. But I don't think a lot of people knew that he was the mandatory, and he didn't want to fight him either. All of a sudden, he wanted to fight Ivan Yildrim. I mean, only one that been real was Jamal Charlo. Jamal Charlo was tabbed to fight David Benavidez next. Benavidez wanted to take an interim title fight. I ain't mad at him. And he lost his fight. He lost his belt on the scale. So you probably can still see Jamal Charlo and David Benavidez if they want to get it on. Unless Callum Smith jump in there, fight for the regular WBC belt. Because once Canelo dusts Ivan Yildrim off, he will be the franchise champion. Now, wouldn't it be funny if Yildrim somehow beat Canelo? Canelo got injured or some shit like that, and Yildrim was the champion. That would serve people. That would serve them right. But like I said, I'm not mad at Canelo. Everybody get mad at Canelo for doing what he's doing, moving how he moving. He didn't deserve or he didn't earn the right to pick and choose his fights like Marquez, like Pacquiao, you know what I'm saying? Like Cotto, like Bradley. I don't think he really earned that type of, clout yet because, he ain't beat nobody convincingly without, some strings attached. But you know what? What he doing in boxing outside of Pacquiao, nobody else is doing. Next closest guys what Badu Jack, Danny Garcia, who really out the big weight classes, who really moving mountains? Nobody. You know what I'm saying? You can talk about the heavyweights and Usyk doing what he doing and Lomachenko doing what he doing. We could throw them in there, but outside of them, Canelo is like it's a gap. Y'all asking Canelo to go out here and fight these hard fights, but Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Gervonta Davis, Leo Santa Cruz. I mean, we can go on. And David Benavidez messed the bag up. Charlo and Hurd didn't get done. So, you asking for these dudes to make the best fights, and these fights ain't getting done. And Bob, he's willing to make the best fights. That ain't what it was 10, 15 years ago. So he putting on, T.O. and T.O. and Lomachenko. And then also he gonna be putting on another undisputed fight in Josh Taylor and Jose Ramirez. Well, Bob Beeran bought Josh Taylor. So what? He got him. Stole him right out of Eddie Hearn's lap because he's supposed to go to the zone. So, I mean, it is what it is. We can complain about Canelo, but then we have to complain about the rest of boxing. You know, I had a video coming, if I didn't upload it, Robert Garcia exposed that PBC fighters ain't taking no drug tests no more, even for championship fights. So, I mean, that is what it is, man. But, yeah, let's talk about David Benavidez and Romir Alexis Angulo fight this weekend. Funny thing about it is the end of the Rolly fight peaked. It peaked it. It peaked at 245,000, and David Benavidez and the rest of the card averaged 188,000. So I think it was a 3-fight card. Kaufman and Otto Wallin, Kaufman's shoulder fell out, and then Rolly and Martinez was the talk of the town because ain't nobody, you know, it was controversial. And nobody really liked the decision, and then Benavidez and Romir, numbers down. So boxing numbers across boxing is down all the way. Should ESPN be having comparable numbers to Showtime? Absolutely not. They should be blowing Showtime out the water. Showtime is a closed subscription or premium subscription platform. Their numbers have never really been good. Only reason ESPN had great numbers because they had established superstars coming off of network television, and that's how they built the platform. And they never really transferred the star power of some of those fighters to the fighters that kind of dropped the ball. You know what I'm saying? Hopkins and De La Hoya and Floyd, they passed the baton to like Bradley and them, but Bradley and them didn't really pass the baton to, you know, the next generation. They tried to go into this Euro invasion thing, but that's a whole nother conversation for another day. But, you know, with people streaming and all that stuff, man, they probably over 1 million people watched that card. And also it was going up against UFC with 252 with DC and Stipe Miocic trilogy. So, you know, they didn't put no big names on this weekend. It was an L as far as viewership, but, you know, boxing is really putting itself in a fucked up situation because if they really want to give good viewership, if people ain't watching boxing on network television and premium television and free television, you know, how you think they're going to watch pay-per-view? No, all their pay-per-view fights should be on regular television. The Charlo card, the Tank card, and the Earl card should be on regular television for the culture. You know, real talk, it should be on regular television for the culture. You know, and they can start see those television numbers start to come up. But it's really up to T.O. and Lomachenko to really boost, you know, bring boxing back, you know, similar to what Khabib and Conor McGregor did for UFC. But they also had help with John Jones. So who gonna kind of be that John Jones type of opponent? And you know, and also the woman that got over there beat everybody ass, that beat up Chris Cyborg. You know, they need somebody like that. So I mean, the numbers wasn't great, but you talking about streaming, but you talking about, you know, a lot of these states are starting to get lax with the stay-at-home orders, and, you know, a lot of people going out and enjoying the summertime, but still, again, you know, boxing is in a place where it's on the sick bed. You can attribute that to competition, to the zone, to ESPN, to Showtime, Fox, PBC, the whole thing, or you could just attribute it to, you know, the UFC kicking their ass. They got a better model. And people don't care about boxing because they won't give people the fights they want. And the fights they do, they is getting right now, is terrible. So the boxing, you know, viewership has really hit the reset button. And I don't know if they not willing to put on some of their premier fights on regular TV like Bob is, boxing is going to continue to hurt viewership wise, and it may never recover. So let me know what you guys think about the Canelo thing, about the Benavidez numbers. Don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. Keep sharing the videos. Want to make a donation? Cash App, PayPal, description. Best way to donate is share the video one time for the one time we go.